Rachel La Loca. Rachel La Loca here. Rachel La Loca here. Rachel La Loca here. Lelo, 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 like, oh, I'm here to see Buena Vista Social Club. You guys, I covered the red carpet. That's right. I covered the red carpet last week. We saw all the stars on the red carpet. It was so incredible and amazing. People like John Leguizamo, who's a producer, the Mirandas, who also have a piece of this production. And finally, I am here for media previews of Buena Vista Social Club, and I can't wait to tell you all about it. So stay tuned to this episode of Latinos Out Loud to hear about the Buena Vista Social Club. We're gonna dance in the aisles. I cannot wait. Yo, 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 yo. What? Oh my God, you guys. This is another episode of Latinos Out Loud. LOL, if you like acronyms like I do. I love me some acronyms. Hymns and acronyms, people. Hi, we are here. This is a very special, and I say we because I brought her back, y'all. I brought back Paola Pai Soto. What's up, Pai?
Hello, everyone. How's it going? What's up, Rachel? How you doing, girl?
I'm doing great. Long time no see.
Such a long time.
It's been a week. But we had a really good time last week at the opening night red carpet for the Buena Vista Social Club, which is what we're going to talk about today on this episode. And we have to say thanks to our friends at the Recirculation Bookstore, which is a property of Word Up. Y'all know Word Up Bookstore, right? The Heights.
In Washington Heights.
Word
represent.
Up. Hey.
Hey, come get your books.
Thank you, Veronica.
And your comic books.
There's so many books here, and it's like pay what you can, which is really, really nice.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Come here. They do story time. There's a nice little story time carpet that the kids can sit on while you go and check your email and stuff in the background. But why would you do that at the bookstore? You'd probably go and look for books that you like, which I'm going to do because we are surrounded. So after this, we'll check out some books,
yes,
right?
So
thank you, Veronica, for having us. Veronica's here somewhere.
Thanks so much, Veronica.
And also thanks to Angie Abreu of the Dominican Writers Association, who also hooked us up. So, bye. We have a lot to talk about. So as much as I want to shout out our friends at Recirculation, we've got to recirculate back to this episode. We were on the red carpet last Wednesday, March 19th, for opening night of the Buena Vista Social Club, which is very momentous for Broadway. And of course, I had to bring in the Latinos on Broadway expert, my friend Pai over here. I can't do anything Broadway on this show without you. You know that, right?
I appreciate you.
I mean, you only have your MFA from Columbia University. You've only studied this stuff like frontwards, backwards. You only know every Latino on Broadway, cast and crew. I mean, it's just...
That's a lot of names. I think you're putting a lot on me.
No.
I appreciate it.
I've seen you in action. Like, we'll be someplace, and they're like, hey, and they know her, and she knows them, and she knows this frontwards and backwards. So first, I have to ask you, thoughts on Buena Vista Social Club? You saw it. I saw it. It's amazing.
It's incredible, y'all. I was talking about it when we were on the red carpet, and it has not changed. I think I've seen it 3 times at this point.
Wow.
And each and every single time has been just as incredible and amazing, and still finding new things in it. So I think I can go on and on and on forever, but I'm super excited to get to share this episode with everyone because it really felt like a special night, even though I think all of it happened within half an hour.
It went by so fast, you guys. We showed up to the red carpet. Shout out to Saul, who was also there shooting us. And then there was the quiet before the storm, and then the storm hit. And all the stars, just it was a deluge of stars in a good way. It was so amazing. The stars really came out for this amazing, incredible night on Broadway. So before we recap everything that we experienced that night, give us your quick testimonial. If you remember those commercials from the 80s for play for Broadway or Telecharge, if you were exiting the theater right now and I shoved a mic in your face, what would you say about the show?
Okay. Oh my God. That was the most amazing show I've ever seen. I took my mom and she was like, I have not heard that music since her mom, my grandmother, used to play it. So y'all, this is the best night that you can have on Broadway. Bring your mom, your dad, your whole familia, your loved ones. The not-so-loved ones, everyone is going to love this show.
That's a good idea to bring the not-so-loved ones because it'll put them in a good mood and maybe they'll be nice afterwards.
Yes, exactly.
This is really a show that puts you in a great mood. I saw it last night with one of my loved ones. Shout out to Eddie behind the camera. I love you, boo. And it was so, I heard all the expectations, so the bar was already high. But you know what? After seeing the show, I need to elevate that bar even more. The dancing, the singing,
Oh,
The acting.
the costumes, yo.
Ooh, the
costumes.
costumes, the
Ooh.
skirts. It was giving like 1961 West Side Story vibes with all the beautiful dancing and like the
Yeah.
skirts just like going everywhere.
The costume designer, I think, was like super like honest and real to what that time period was in Cuba. And I just feel like that was the attention to detail was really, really beautiful.
The acting,
Oh,
the
yes.
set design. I don't want to give any spoilers because you guys have
Don't
to go
give
check out the
spoilers.
show.
Don't give
Okay,
spoilers.
okay, I won't. But like the set and how it moves and how it moved me and it brought us from place to place. The other thing I'll say about the show, and we were talking about this last night, Eddie and I, is like, you know, when you go to see a piece that takes place during a certain time era, it really takes a lot of work and meticulousness, is that a word?
Yes.
From the writers or writer to really transform and bring us to those times. And this show did that magically because this was the type of show that you were in one time 1 minute and then you were taken back decades the next minute.
Yeah.
And through the lighting shifts and music and where we see characters on stage, upstage, downstage, stage left, stage right, we were brought there flawlessly. I had no question of what time we were in just looking on stage.
Well, Sahim Ali, who's the director, is an incredible director who's done, this is not his first Broadway show. He also did Fat Ham. And I just think his work is spectacular, which is another reason that I would highly recommend going to check this out.
The hard work showed.
Yes.
And everybody was on their feet last night, no matter where you come from, no matter how familiar or unfamiliar you are with this music, recorded at the Buena Vista Social Club, which is basically like the premise of the show. I just thought it was incredible. So speaking of the music, you got to interview some of the musicians on the carpet last week. So tell us about that.
That was a lot of fun, especially because I got to interview the lead guitarist in the show.
Oh, the guitarist.
Which he's known as the Jimmy Hendrix of Cuba, and I will triple co-sign that because that every single time I've seen the solo, it's incredible, absolutely amazing. So I was literally shaking in my boots, but really, really happy that I got to interview him. Renestio, aka Jimmy Hendrix of Cuba, and then I also got to interview the trombonist, Eddie Venegas. So that was another chance to get to know more about the band and understand that they've been playing for years, which makes sense because when you go see it, you're going to feel like the music, it has to be live. You have to see it live because of that music. And the reason it sounds so good is because they've all been working together for so long.
Yeah, they were totally in sync. So why don't we cut to those interviews on the red carpet right now? Check it out. Go ahead, real quick.
I do have to say, I've seen the show. I love it. This is exactly where I want to be. I'm so glad that y'all are able to like get to meet some of the people involved, some of the producers. Latinos are everywhere.
Everywhere.
Every single where. Literally from Broadway to film, wherever you at, we at.
So this is really exciting. There's a lot of stars expected tonight here on the red carpet at opening night here at the Buena Vista Social Club. We're right in the heart of Times Square. This is the Great White Way, although tonight it's the Great Latino Way, okay?
All the way. All the way.
So stay tuned. We're going to have a lot of interviews coming up for you, LOL-eros, on this very exciting episode. Thank you to Poke. Thank you for inviting us to this carpet. Thank you, Adriana. I see you, girl. Thank you so much for having us. So stay tuned.
I am here with the amazing guitarist known as the Jimi Hendrix of Cuba.
Renestio Avich, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having us. We're thrilled to have you here in the Buena Vista Social Club.
Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us and talk to us.
Of course.
You are absolutely incredible in the show. I got to see it off Broadway at the Atlantic, and then got to see one of the previews. And your work on your solo is absolutely amazing. Can you talk a little bit about going from a smaller stage to the Broadway stage?
Yeah, I mean, in the Atlantic already was a pretty big stage. The audience was smaller, but now for over 1,000 people, it feels great. I have to talk about the creative team, the director, dancers. It's a whole piece. And I'm so happy to be part of that piece, just sneaking in and make you feel happy.
Y'all, you really need to come and check out this show to see
Please.
his guitar solos. It really is the Jimi Hendrix of Cuba. Absolutely incredible and amazing. And then how does it feel to be able to perform night after night, 8 shows a week in front of this huge audience?
That it's amazing. I was scared about it because I'm coming from concerts that you do one concert, 2 concerts in a month, but it feels amazing. You guys, the audience, make it feel amazing. So thank you for that. Thank you.
And you're getting standing ovations every single night at the end of the show. What are you looking forward to in the coming weeks?
Just keep sharing our music, our vibe, and bringing happiness to people. That's it. Just come to see the show.
And what is your favorite song?
My favorite song is Silencio, the Bolero, and Chan Chan.
Oh.
I learned how to read with Chan Chan when I was 6 years old.
Amazing. And did you get to see the documentary of it?
I have, and I'm coming from the hometown of Compay Segundo, Santiago de Cuba. So I'm so proud to be here representing my people.
And we're so happy that you're here on this Broadway stage, all the way from Cuba. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for taking the
Thank
time.
you.
And
I'll see you there.
Yeah, I'll
All
see
right.
you over there. I'm here with the trombonist for Buena Vista Social Club.
Eddie Venegas.
It is such a pleasure to have Eddie here with us. This is going to be the opening of the Buena Vista Social Club on Broadway. And do you want to tell us about the process from going from off-Broadway to Broadway?
Yes, it's been a long process. In fact, I was part of that the off-Broadway production, but before that was the beginning of last year. Before that, they've been working on this for 7 years or something like that. And the process is interesting because I joined the band, and we started doing the show, and we did the off-Broadway production, but I've been playing with these players, this repertoire for a long time. So my indoctrination into Cuban music, because I'm from Caracas, Venezuela, is been going for many, many years. So being part of this, of the off-Broadway production was already an amazing journey.
Yeah.
And then the show itself became so much tighter, so much better from what we did on off-Broadway and to what it is now. So I got to see the development of this piece from then to here, which is basically a year, but it grew so much. It made so much. It made so many improvements in terms of like capturing the heart and the significance of the culture and the characters into what the story that's now. So I think it was amazing for me to see the development of this play from then until now, even though they've been working on it for longer than me.
Amazing. Did you ever get to see the documentary?
Yes, the documentary is amazing.
Yeah.
But the beauty of when you see the documentary, you kind of get the character of what's going on here. What you do get in this play on Broadway is the actual sound that you don't get on the album. You don't get it. You don't get it anywhere, because they were basically put all this music and elevated to a stage where you almost hear this acoustically, so you feel the sound coming at you, and that in itself is a unique thing.
Yeah, amazing. So what is the other part, your favorite part about the show?
Man, my favorite part of the show is, that's a good one. There are some slow tunes. The Silencio is such beautiful. I'm still kind of like getting through that. I haven't gotten tired of that one. And then the candela, the power of the band coming out loud. All the super loud moments, and then the really soft moments. They're very special in their own character. So
that is
Candela and Silencio.
And then all the songs are the ones that are from the Buena Vista Social Club album, right?
There's one I think that is not. I'm not sure. I think there's one song we do with a trombone solo that I don't think is in that album.
Sweet.
I'm not sure actually.
What drew you to the trombone? Like, why did you start playing it?
I started trombone in college because I'm actually a violinist. I started playing violin since I was a kid, and I'm a classical violinist. And then when I went to college to get to go to school for classical violin in New York, I just picked up that trombone, and then I became obsessed with it. So since then, I've been doubling on violin and trombone.
Amazing.
So
Well,
this is a super dream come true for me.
and for us too. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us and for your incredible performance in the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Paola, that was great. Pa, you nailed it. Guys, when I tell you she knows her stuff, you think I'm freaking kidding? Like, she knows her stuff. Wow.
I know
So
my stuff.
you really know your
Very
stuff.
New Yorker, very, very coffee, very much like Long Island.
Very Long Island, Staten Islands, Queens, Brooklyn, whatever you want to talk about. Give me a call, no big whoop. 978 Latinos is the number. That's really the number. You did great. I mean,
Thank you.
it's so, and I love how cute they were. They were so excited.
Yes, which is understandable because it's their opening night of their Broadway show, their Broadway premiere. But I think the stuff that really kind of got to me, and that I'm super excited for y'all to see is coming up next, which is
Ooh.
Rachel and I tag teamed it, but this is going to be her completely and totally getting to interview some of the like most famous people in American entertainment today. So
There's my ride. I gotta go. Did
yeah.
you guys hear that beep? I mean, we're in the heights.
So-
I'm glad we're not hearing like merengue blasting like in my freaking eardrums right now. Yeah.
Yes.
To your
But
point.
speaking of being in the heights,
Oh,
y'all,
nice. You see?
y'all, I just, yeah. Let's talk about it. Go ahead.
Okay. So we literally, it was like a wrestling match. She threw me the mic. I caught it midair and we swapped. She jumped over the stanchions. Well, she jumped back. I jumped over. And then in walks in John Leguizamo.
Mhm.
One of my heroes, okay, for a long time.
Mhm.
So I told him, and you'll hear in this interview, he's really the godfather, the Latino godfather of Broadway. He's done so much and paved the way for Broadway that he must feel this sense of orgullo and pride. At least I hope he does. And Mr. Johnny Legs, if you're watching this and you don't feel that, please feel it, because you've done so much for us, and not just on Broadway, in movies, in writing, in TV, in all the things, in comedy. So thank you for everything. And I told him that in this interview. So Johnny Legs and the Mirandas are
Yes.
producers of the show, and we got them on this red carpet for y'all, the LOL-eros, and for me, and for Pi, okay? So, and for my heart and my soul, and for my grandmother and my mother, because they're very proud. And it was kind of a reunion, because if you guys recall, the Mirandas, Luis Miranda Sr. and Lin-Manuel, I could say his name. I'm just a little nervous talking about
Lin-Manuel
him.
Miranda.
That guy, yeah, you know him. Mr. Hamilton, Mr. In the Heights, Mr. Disney, okay? Yeah, they were on the 100th episode of Latinos Out Loud back in the day. Remember that episode?
Yes.
Where we shot it live at the WNYC Green Space downtown. So it was like a little reunion. So I say we just get to it.
Yes.
Let's get
Okay.
to it. And I'm here with one of the producers, someone whose career I've been following and getting inspiration from for a very long time. None other than the official Latino godfather of Broadway, John Leguizamo.
Yeah. What's up? What's up, baby? How you doing? Good to see you.
Great. It's so good to see you. You guys, the last time I saw John, we sat down for Ethiopian food and I didn't touch it. And he was like, Mama, you're not going to eat anything? I'm like, I can't eat with my hands, John. I just
Well, you
can't.
have to. Ethiopian food, you eat the injera with your hand. Come on. Ethiopian food is my favorite food in the whole world.
But you introduced me to that wine that night.
Oh, that was good. The plum wine,
banging
the honey
plum
wine.
Yeah,
honey
honey
wine.
Yes.
Super sweet. It'll knock you out really one sip.
I had to buy a bottle. Thank you for putting me on. You
Oh,
put me
I
on.
made you an alcoholic. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
I mean, we could talk about
Yeah,
that
we'll
off
talk about
air.
that off air, yeah.
If my breath smells like alcohol, then you know why.
It's
It's
okay.
your
I'm
fault.
getting a little drunk off your breath. Thank you for a little buzz.
Listen, I'm getting drunk over your comedy and all your talent, okay?
Thank you,
Because
thank you.
your career is just something that I have learned from, and so like
Awesome.
such a myriad of things that you're doing, and now you're producing Buena Vista Social Club.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so talk to us about the trajectory of this baby. Like, when did you hear about this, and how did you get so involved with it?
It was at the Atlantic Theater Company, and all my friends were saying, you got to see it. Of course, I go, Buena Vista Social Club, of course. I go see it. I fall in love with this play, the musicians, the music, the acting. The story is about two sisters who, during the Cuban Revolution, 1950s, they're politically on opposite sides, but then they unite for music, and that's what brings them together.
And so what did you love about this story? Like, why did you get in the trenches of this show?
It's so beautiful. One of the lines is, there are two kinds of Cubans: those that stayed in Cuba and those that came to the U.S.
Yeah.
It's a really moving story about having to be an immigrant, having to leave your country because of political instability, and we all as Latinos have had some of that in our countries because there are a lot of people interfering in our governments. So we all left our countries for one reason or other. That's why we're here.
Yeah, to pursue the dream.
Yes.
And speaking of, what's something that the audience members will leave with? What's something that you want us to leave with from this show?
Oh my God, the Latin excellence on stage, the Latin talent that's here is so brilliant. And there's so many more talented Latin people out there that are just not getting the opportunity to shine. So come here, celebrate Latin culture to the fullest. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, and you're gonna want to dance an but don't, 'cause it's a hazard.
Okay, so if you had a younger John Leguizamo in front of you right now, would you do, because he's listening and she's listening and they're listening, what are some words of advice that you have for them on how to break into this industry, how to showcase your Latinidad and be successful?
Well, if I was talking to my younger John Leguizamo self, young Latin boy from Queens, I would say you gotta keep going for yours. Don't accept no for an answer ever, and don't accept rejection. Create your own opportunities. This is with the digital revolution. You can do whatever you want and get your own followers and create your own opportunities.
John, thank you for everything that you do for our community, and we can't wait to see the show. Congratulations.
Oh, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it for real.
Great.
Qué placer. Un besito.
We had El Señor Luis Miranda on the show, and here he is again. Luis, how are you?
I am doing very, very well. Happy that this time I'm a producer in Buena Vista Social Club.
That's so amazing. Whenever we see the Miranda name on a show, first of all, it's a guaranteed thing. I'm going to save all my pennies to see the show,
Very
just
good.
so we can get a ticket. Tell us about your involvement and why is this show different? What did you do? What's the magic secret? Tell us.
It was sort of off-Broadway. Lin-Manuel saw it off-Broadway and told me that you gotta go and see this. And the moment I saw it, I told some of the people who I knew, if there's any way I could collaborate, happy to do that. They called me right away. And it has been a journey to get here, but important because it's the first time an entire Spanish score it's on the stage on Broadway.
Huepa! Huepazo! Wow, that is an exciting moment.
We saw Zoot Suit in 1979, Lin-Manuel's In the Heights in 2008, and this is the next step, the important next step where we are the actors, the score, and the music.
We are. Okay, let's talk about the growth of Latinos on Broadway. Because you and your son are really the orchestrators, no pun intended. You're doing so much in paving that way. I know we still have a lot of work to do. How can the community get more involved? How can we see more of ourselves on Broadway?
Broadway stages will play what people want to see. When we begin to support Broadway as a community, like we support concerts and movies.
And we buy those tickets. Latinos over-index.
And we buy those tickets, then producers will begin to put stories like Buena Vista Social Club on stage. The more we do, it becomes like a chicken or an egg.
Yeah.
And some of us just need to push and push. And then I'm fortunate to have someone like Lin-Manuel, whose life revolves around Broadway and the musical Broadway.
And now you have a book. Tell us about your book. He's an author. We can add that to everything else that he does now, too. If this man is not an inspiration, I don't know what else could possibly be.
A friend of mine challenged me and said, you criticize everyone and you have your own opinions, why don't you put them in writing? And I decided, okay, it's time to do that. And that's what I did. And I've enjoyed it immensely to talk to people and to be able to tell my story beyond my family and friends.
El Señor. Okay, he'll come afterwards to Latinos Out Loud. It's a reunion right now. Here, you can have my mic.
Am I tagging in?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Tagging in. It's a reunion. This hasn't been since the 100th episode of Latinos Out Loud. Now we're on episode number 425.
Oh my goodness.
It's so nice to see you both again.
Nice to see you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you.
I'm great. So what does it mean to see another Latino production on Broadway?
Oh, it's even more thrilling than if it were the one I was working on, because we get to hear our music in Spanish. Like, it sounds so incredible, without apology, without translation. I never thought I'd live to see a Spanish language score in a Broadway theater, and I'm just so thrilled.
Are you guys going to start some kind of like fraternity or like sorority, like for the Latino productions on Broadway? Because we're seeing more and more of them.
I know, we got Real
and you're
Women Have
behind it.
Curves.
Women Have
It's
Curves.
so exciting.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
the fact that it's like, it's just part of the fabric of what comes to Broadway. That's what makes me happier than anything. I'll be happy when it's not a big deal. When it's just like, we're just regularly employed Latinos in regular intervals on Broadway, and it's not like the percentage of Latino Broadway workers spikes and falls when one show opens or closes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, can you give us a little teaser as to what you're working on now? Like,
Sure.
what does Lin-Manuel have his hands in? I just saw you speak at Broadway Con, so I heard a little bit.
Yeah.
Can you talk about what you talked about at Broadway Con? I'm
Well,
such
sure.
a nerd.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wrote I wrote this score with Issa Davis called Warriors, based on the 1979 movie From the Bronx to Coney, and we're working on getting that to the stage, and so we're really early stages on that, but that's what I'm working on next.
We're so excited the Warriors on stage. Oh my god, I got my leather vest all ready to go. I have to get more piercings and stuff, but I'm working on it. Okay, so I asked this question of you on our 100th episode.
Ready.
I don't know if the answer has changed.
Oh boy.
Okay, let's see. So if you had a young Lin-Manuel right here in front of you, because he's right there. Can you see him?
Yeah.
Hey, little Lin! What are some words of advice that you have for him on how to make it in this business, knowing what you know now?
I would just tell him that weird idea you have is worthy, and to pursue it, because it's always the ones that we're passionate about, the ones that don't leave us alone, that end up being worth anything. You know, it's not what they tell you to do, it's what you can't help but do, and pursuing those impulses.
Now that your dad's an author, will you write a book of Linisms? Like, come on, we need. He gets the best quotes, yo. Like, listen to the 100th episode.
Wouldn't you rather I wrote a new show?
Yes.
That's what I would rather.
You could do
Thank
both,
you.
Mr.
I would like to do
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
that instead. Thank you.
Yeah, now you can see why I'm so giddy right now, right? Because look, to talk to iconic figures in this space whom we are following the footsteps of, whom are teaching us valuable lessons. Because, look, you can get your MFA, which, congratulations, that's amazing. But, like, they're teaching us other things that you can't necessarily learn in school. And, like, how to maneuver, what works, how to add universality to your content. You know, Latinos, we are the shiznit right now, okay? And the fact that we're getting more and more popular in spaces like Broadway because of these iconic figures, I'm so humble and proud to have their voices on this podcast. It's inspiring AF.
Oh, absolutely. And these were not the only iconic figures. Coming up next is going to be what I think are some of the most, I think for me personally, definitely two sheroes, women that I want to be able to be like and have my career follow that kind of trajectory. And then also, oh my goodness, the king of
Panama, really?
Yes.
He's the king
no,
of Panama.
well, I don't want to say he's the king of Panama. That does not sound right. But he is, I think,
He
one
did
of
a
the
lot
most...
for Panamanian tourism, I gotta
Absolutely.
say. Okay?
And then also just one of the most amazing Latino musicians, I think, in our lifetime.
Mr. Pedro Navaja himself, Rubén Blades, was on the carpet. And I gotta tell you something funny. So when I posted the picture of me and Rubén Blades, a lot of women were like, hands off my man, girl. But I didn't know that he was like, he's like...
I could see it, though. I could see it. He gave like a little wink and like a little smile at the end. And I was like, oh, Rubén, you still got it, man.
He's definitely on Blades.
Yes.
You see what I did there?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so he was so great to talk to. It took a little warming up, you know what I mean? Because he was like, yeah, I'm here.
He was there. He was there for it.
He was there for
Yes,
it.
he
All
was
of
there
a
for
sudden,
it.
he was
Yes.
just like, okay, I am engaged in this conversation. So thank you, Rubén Blades. Let's check out these 3 interviews. I'm here with former guest of Latinos Out Loud, Daphne Rubin-Vega.
Hola, ¿qué tal, mi gente?
People, set your air horns off right now. I mean, you know her from so many different things. You know her from Rent, okay? La Original, I just want to say. And she's here. She's one of the Latinas. I would like to call you the Latina godmother of Broadway. Is that okay?
I love that.
She has paved the way for so many actors, and now she's in film. She's all over the place. Daphne, tell us about your excitement being here at the opening night of the Buena Vista Social Club.
I'm just happy to get out of the house. I don't do it very often. And be here with all these beautiful people and just enjoy the party. And also listen to music that's part of the soundtrack of my life. Ya tú sabes.
How important is music in your life? Like, you are a singer, so I assume you sing all the time, but like, tell us about this passion point of being Latina, because music is part of our DNA. So tell us about how you feel about being here to see a show all about la música.
Yeah, Buena Vista is a soundtrack to your life when you're a person like me, in the sense that when I was introduced to Buena Vista Social Club decades ago, just como se te sienten las entrañas, right? The way it feels in your body. There's a what do they call it? The cortisol in your body just starts to go. Like recognition, there's a recognition. I mean, I'm being really airy-fairy, but to hear Afro-Caribbean music is, it's like a sound bath of another kind, right? You know how we talk about sound baths and then how they affect our organism? Bueno, the same with Buena Vista Social Club is a sound bath. For Latinos, no jodan.
That's right. Okay, speaking of sound, I want to hear more about what you're working on. I mean, we were so proud to see you in the Heights.
Thank you.
I felt like you murdered it, bruh. Like, you totally killed it, and we saw you in a different light as one of the salon ladies. Like, tell us where that has taken you in your career and maybe what you're working on next.
Well, today, I just did a reading with esta bella aquí atrás, la Ana Viñafañe, and some other homies here. But I'm writing, and I'm writing our stories, because that's what happens when you become an elder in this business. I think that, of course, I'll always act as long as I can, but our stories, nothing about us without us, and like, who's gonna tell the story, right?
Put that on a t-shirt.
Yes.
And so I have a question for you. I probably asked you the last time you were on the podcast, but if you had a young Daphne Rubin-Vega standing in front of you right now, which you kind of do because she's out there. Hey, little Daphne.
Hi, baby girl. Te como entera. Y por eso no quiero decir algo lascivious ni nada vulgar, pero te cuido con todo corazón. And don't let the bastards get you down. Sigue pa'lante, okay? No jodan. Que no jodan.
Yeah.
And find people that you can be truthful with.
I love that so much.
Because if you don't, you're going to go crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Congratulations.
And if I were elected, just kidding.
Are you ready for office? Wait, you heard it first. LOL-eros. Daphne Rubin-Vega is running for... Yes?
Okay. Quítame esto.
You know we would vote for you, right?
Of course.
Like... Proud of you. We're so happy. Here in La Alfombra Roja with another legend. This is a legendary night in New York City because I'm here with Rubén Blades. Hola, how are you?
Okay, everything good.
It's okay, so it's only right that you're here because tonight is all about la música and you're one of the Reyes, kings of music for us Latinos.
No, gracias.
Tell us about your excitement being here and what does it mean to you to be here tonight?
Well, I was invited. I came. I like this. I like the idea of the show. Let's see how it works, and I hope it does really well. I hope there are more shows in the future, and it certainly is a great premise. So let's hope that everything works out fine and that there are more shows in the future.
I want to talk about that for a minute. How can we as a community be more active about seeing the shows, producing the shows, just seeing more representation on Broadway?
It's not an easy thing. It's not going to show up. It's not going to happen out of nowhere. I mean, one of the problems we have is it's very expensive to put on a show. I mean, how many people can come and afford and pay $200 for a seat? So we have to be realistic about that. I think that you can also present shows not just on Broadway, you can present them all over New York. So Broadway is a wonderful place to be. It's a very prestigious place to be, but it's not the only place to be. So you present the shows, you create the shows, and you present them anywhere you can. And then the people have to support the shows. If the people in a community do not support the shows, then
¿Pa qué? Like then how? No va a funcionar, ¿verdad?
it's not going to work.
So tell us about your involvement in Broadway. Are you interested in maybe executive producing or he said no. He's like no.
No,
not
because
it.
I have too many things right now to do. I mean, I don't have that much time to do so many things. I'm right now involved in music. I may try to do something in the future because after the Cape Man, I really would like to try to do something, another show. But right now, no.
You have done so much for music and our community. Like, I wish I can give you a crown or something, at least an embroidered jacket or something
crown,
right now.
crown.
A toaster?
We don't need kings in this country.
Well, I asked this question of a lot of icons. If you had a younger Rubén Blades standing right in front of you, because he's there somewhere listening and watching, what are some words of advice that you have for him to be successful in this business?
Read a lot, study a lot, don't use drugs.
Those are great words of advice, you guys. It doesn't get any more simple than that. Rubén Blades, thank you so much for your time. Felicidades. And guess who I'm here with? Yeah, you know her face. Luna Velez is here. It's so nice to see you and meet you. Bienvenido. Welcome. How are you feeling?
I'm so excited. I mean, I have loved the music from Buena Vista Social Club for so long. I've been to Cuba about 4 times. This story, it's something that's really important to me. It's really important to see our stories on the stage. John Leguizamo and I are doing a play at the Public this summer. So that he wrote. So I'm like, go Latinos!
You guys, I mean, you and John have really paved the way for us, and your career really spans, you know.
I'm sorry.
I love red carpets. No, I love this. You see that Latino love?
Yeah.
That's like the love that, like, it's just so unique. And that bond that we just saw is really remarkable. And you guys are trendsetters. You've paved the way.
Thank you for that.
And thank you for, like, allowing us to follow in your footsteps. So speaking of Latinos on Broadway and in the media, we got some work to do. But I want to hear about, like, your trajectory, your journey from the very beginning to where we are today, seeing shows go up on Broadway. Tell us about the growth and what we can do to even accelerate that growth even more.
I mean, that's a really long trajectory to get into, but I will say that one of the most important things we can do is write our own stuff.
Yes.
You know, John's play, the one he's doing, is it's destined to be a classic. And the thing that makes it so important is not only that, you know, I'm playing somebody who's Puerto Rican and she's the female lead. He's the male lead. He wrote it and he knows our stories, and it's a universal story that everybody can relate to. And I think, you know, waiting for anybody to represent us or to, it's hoping, you know, keep your fingers crossed. I hope I get that role, write it, produce it, shoot it, whatever. It's, I honestly think the time of waiting for other people, waiting for an opportunity, it's done. Make your own opportunity.
That's really good advice. And, you know, to hear it from you, it also is remarkable. Tell us about some of the projects that you're working on, other than this amazing play with Leguizamo.
Well, actually, something my sister and I wrote. And I
Your twin sister, which is so cute, you guys.
My twin sister. And we're shooting that in the summer. That's all I can say about that. But we wrote it and are producing it and starring in it, and it's taken such a long time to really push it to this direction, but I feel like there's no other way. Like, nobody's going to write a movie for us. We have to write it.
I would love to tap into that feeling. What does that feel like when you are actually the person behind the creative? You are the one that is projecting this authentic Latina voice in the show, as opposed to getting cast for something. You are filling the shoes that someone else bought at the store.
That's right. It feels amazing because it's honest, it's authentic. And even sometimes, you know, it could be authentic and maybe it doesn't work, but we can find that out and keep it as authentic as humanly possible. Yeah. But I feel like it's just so important that we do it. I have another friend. There's a play called Freestyle that they're doing this next month, I think, at Lehman College, and it's a freestyle love story about Latinos.
Yeah.
And to even watch that trajectory is so beautiful. So it's what it does is it makes you, it fills you up with who you are, with the pride of like, we can do it. I'm not looking out there, yo no estoy mirando por allá ni por allá. I have my friends are doing it. Like my friends are doing it. And that's the kind of stuff that makes me really happy.
One last question. If you had a younger Luna standing right here, because she's actually out there listening, what are some words of advice that you have for her on how to make it in this industry, knowing the obstacles that you have faced? And you've been doing this, I mean, you're young and fabulous, but you've been doing this since you were very young.
Yeah.
What are some words of advice that you have for that little girl?
I think I would just tell this little girl that just go for it. That no matter what, go for it. Don't let anybody else tell you that you don't deserve to be there. Don't. Go for it. You're worth it. You're worth every single thing that you desire. Every single thing.
I love that, you guys. She's one of my sheroes, you guys. So when I happen to meet one of my sheroes, my ventricles right now are bugging out. My ovaries and my ventricles and my brain are like, they're in sync and they're singing to each other. Thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for being an inspiration to me personally. I've been watching you for so long and learning your tactics and your technique. Not that I'm stalking you. I'm not a stalker. Okay, but I am, you know, as an actor, as a writer, as a comedian, I want to learn from the best. And you're one of the best, mija.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. And you know what? Even those words, you don't even know how they uplift me, how they inspire me. Because we have to inspire each other.
Yeah.
You know, that's the most important thing. We are enough. There are enough of us that if we never ever went outside of our own Latino bubble, we would still be okay.
We're okay. We are fire.
That's
like
right.
fuego, fuego, llaman a los bomberos.
Eso.
Thank you so much.
Lelo,
Lelo, lelo, lelo, like, oh, that was intense. I'm just gonna take a nap on the red carpet.
Yo.
It looks cushy.
Everyone.
It's very plush.
Rachel just interviewed everyone.
That
y'all.
was fast.
I can't wait for y'all to see this episode because, mama, legend,
so great.
legendary. I think this is gonna be the best episode ever.
This was so crazy, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Paola, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having
doing
me.
What you do. You know this so well.
I love you so much,
I
y'all.
love you so much.
Ladies,
This is a love fest.
gentlemen,
You guys,
mira,
pero mira.
damas y caballeros, de Latinos Out Loud, la única, la loca, Rachel.
Thank you so much. No, Pai, really, this was an honor, and to be here with you, I've learned so much from you, and this was great that you were here. She spoke to some of the cast. She knows this show very well. LOL-eros, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Latinos Out Loud. We do this for you. We do this for us. We do it for the culture, for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? There's some people out there that don't really do it for the culture, but estamos aquí para la cultura, para promover la cultura, and to adelantar la raza de verdad, 100%, okay? Everyone who we interviewed tonight is making major strides and is really paving the way for the future. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Latinos Out Loud.
Y'all on the red carpet with Buena Vista Social Club.
Make sure to check out the show.
Yes,
It's here
on Broadway.
On Broadway. Thank you so much for listening. On that note, we at. Yeah, you guys, Sheroes on Sheroes. Shout out to Lauren Luna Velez. Oh, it was such a pleasure talking to her. And to Daphne Rubin-Vega, former guest of the Latinos Out Loud podcast. And again, hats off and bow down to Rubén Blades. All three icons, just really amazing to talk to and to stories and their orgullo of being there present for opening night of the Buena Vista Social Club. I want to thank you guys for listening to this episode or watching, depending on where you are and what device you're using. Hopefully you're doing both at the same time and you hear me in stereo. Surround sound, it's the way to go. Rachel, 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 and Rachel. We're coming to you here from the Recirculation Bookstore, which is part of Word Up. Again, shout out to Veronica, shout out to Angie Abreu, the Dominican Writers Association. Thank you so much, LOL-eros, for listening. Shout out to Poke and Company for inviting us to the red carpet of the Buena Vista Social Club. Make sure to go get your tickets while it's on Broadway. I tell you, if you are not entertained, I will come to your house and wash your car. That's how I guarantee you're going to love this show so much. Que viva la música latina, que viva Broadway, que viva Latinos Out Loud. On that note, we out. It's the Latinos Out Loud podcast.